Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here and welcome back to another episode. We have got our draw for the UEFA Conference League. In saying that though, it was meant to be drawn out on the 21st. Did not get a message about a draw, which was meant to be the first part, was the draw. Instead, we have just been drawn out in the quarterfinal against Stuttgart, which is not a great draw. One of the bigger teams in the competition. As you can see here, Lazio get AGF, so Lazio are going to get through to a semi-final. Fenerbahce and Elfsborg are two teams that are interesting. And the Portuguese side, Moreirense, plays Celta Vigo. So you would say that we definitely got the hardest tie with Stuttgart and ourselves. And there was definitely potential to get an easier draw. AGF, Elfsborg, even Fenerbahce to an extent. It does mean, though, if we get through to the semi-final, as long as we avoid Lazio, we should be favourites to make the final as well. But we'll obviously leave that and see when that is. That is going to be the most part of this episode. I have just got off stream for the night, which is a bit annoying, but had to be done. We streamed 4.5 hours, and obviously today is the day I came back from my holiday, so pretty tired. We're going to hit the bed early. So if that first Stuttgart game is maybe a game that we might, I don't know, because we got Man City and we got Arsenal, so it's like a really big time of it. I'm tempted to go, what I'm going to do is give you the goals of the Stuttgart game and the City game, and then come back for the second leg of Stuttgart and Arsenal, because Arsenal are obviously in fifth. We're currently in a Champions League spot, as it stands, but Arsenal do have a game in hand on us at the moment, which leads me to what we need to talk about here. We played Villa, which was my last game on stream. I said we're going to play till we lose because I'm pretty wrecked. Dominated the game, had more possession, more shots on target, similar shots on target. They scored 4. I just don't understand this game out of nowhere. The game just goes, you're going to get pumped here, and there's nothing you can do about it. So yeah, copped it. And then against Fulham, we dominated the game against Fulham at home. And Joe Goddard scored a couple of goals, and then Fulham in the last 15 minutes went bonkers. When I mean bonkers, I mean they had a highlight every 4 minutes. Most of their shots came between the 75th to 90th minute. They went ridiculous. But we held on, which was a massive win. So I think that's going to be the plan for this episode, which I know the away game against Stuttgart could be a massive game, and the West Ham game's obviously big too, but, and then there's City, but at least I can give you the goals for the West Ham, Stuttgart, Man City game, and we can do Stuttgart, which in the second leg, which will be monstrous, and then 3 days later, I've got to play Arsenal again, which is 4th versus 5th, which will more than likely decide if we're in this Champions League fight, or are we basically fighting to finish inside a Europa League spot to keep this save going. So that's the plan. We may alter that, I don't know, but I'll see you guys for a massive game. It's either Stuttgart away, Stuttgart at home. It definitely won't be my Arsenal away, that's for sure. And we'll see you guys then. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, YouTube, to episode number 26 here of the save here with Brighton for the beta. We have, of course, already played Stuttgart, as previously mentioned. We've come in against a game against Manchester City, and we have got then Stuttgart in the second leg. I will recap the Stuttgart game in a second, but I'd like to just let you know that, obviously, with the main game coming out, and we have our main save started with Paris 13 Atletico, and it has started with the semi-professional club really well. If you want to go watch that live, links down below to my Twitch. More importantly, on the channel, if you subscribe and you click my name, there will be a playlist, and we will be updating the playlist, obviously, with episodes like we've done with the beta. I will just say that with the full game coming out and the shift moving to the main save, this will probably be the last season we have here at Brighton. And I'm not playing this game on stream. I'm actually playing it in the morning before work, both of these games. I've got up slightly early to do this as well. Main reason is try and fit in all the content. I know the Brighton side is getting a lot of love, so I want to at least finish this season off. And yeah, there is going to be a temptation. Us currently sitting 4th. We beat City here today at home. We get past Stuttgart. That we go on a run. We finish in the Champions League. But if something like that happens, I think what we would do is there will be the occasional time that we will look to just sporadically upload a Brighton episode or go back to the save later down the track and see what we could have really built, and if we really were better than Graham Potter, which, to be fair, if I finish in a Champions League spot, I would say we were a success after all the drama that has ensued. Let me know what would be success in being better than Potter. Would it just be finishing in the top 4? And I think being a beta save, it's kind of a short-term goal, was to be better than Potter. This season may just prove that we were. In terms of the team, it is the same side or very similar side that just rocked up and played Stuttgart. In terms of the Stuttgart game, which will be the second part of this episode, We won 2-1 and we were the dominating force. We did score early with Tossin. They then pegged us back against the run of play. I think that was their first shot on target. And they had the second one later on in the game, which would have been an equaliser late doors. And then at least Andreas scored to make it 2-1 there. We were playing, as you can see, on some very quick highlights. So let's go back and go back one as well. And there we are. So ball comes in, Alvarez, Tossin, heads home. Thank you very much. Dominate the game from here on out. Unfortunately for ourselves, we do not put the game to bed. They get one on the break over the top. They play with this two-man striker formation. Altar makes a mistake. There we go. If you do know the game's slightly jittery, I am currently rendering 2 other videos at the same time before doing this, trying to make sure all my content is up to date. Ball in the box, Andreas finishes. It's 2-1. It's pretty good as well. I don't think it's really going to hurt the gameplay too much. If I find it's jittering too much, I'll just come back and once the video's finished rendering for the Stuttgart game. But in terms of the team, it has to be full strength. Lamptey's in pretty good form. It could be Scully, who I'm going to play in the second leg as a little bit more of a defensively minded fullback. Tossin, Sotalo, Stupin, and there we go. That 4-3-3 that I'm using there, I'm using a very similar one in the third tier of French football with a semi-professional side. But if you want to see how I've adapted it to a lower league save, episode 2 of the Paris 13 Atletico will come out later. Well, it would have come out by the time this video's out. Go watch that episode. It will be titled it'll be along the lines of a 4-3-3 for the lower levels or something like that. You know, it has the same concept of a low block and balance, etc., but a lot of different little small changes that make it a little bit less demanding for players at the lower level that don't train full time. That's something you're interested in. Go keep an eye out for that episode number 2. And actually, let me know if you watch this episode and you haven't watched that, and you go to episode number 2 of the main save for Paris 13 Atletico. Let me know in the comment section of that video that you came from this Brighton episode 26 video. Here we go. Chance for revenge. Let's go out there. Nothing without our fans. Off we go. Team is setting the record straight, which is also good as well. We're at home. We have a very good record at home. Hopefully we go do the job, which is nice. And then, yeah, we'll see what we can do. Get an email out of the way here for work quickly. That's out the way. Let's get into it. Now, I'm telling you right now, I take 0-0 here and I run to the bank. And we need to not play on this speed. We've missed that whole highlight. Edison's been booked. Right. Let's just watch that because I haven't seen a keeper get booked in a very long time. Taram, the gameplay is a little jittery. I do apologise. I didn't think it was going to be that much of an issue. If it is an issue, do let me know. I will never try and do it whilst I'm trying to render videos. Alvarez over the top of Joe Geldhart. It's not really much. Edison kind of pulled out of that. It's not really a foul. Geldhart got there first. But free kick. Edge of the area. And Alvarez is good on these. Around the wall and in, buddy. Hits the bar and it comes out. Oh, it should be a goal. Should have been the lead. Should have been the lead. Edison did commit a long way. Now, I will say there was a temptation to rotate in this game, knowing that the Stuttgart game's on the line, but at the same stage, the league's too close to be rotating in a game versus City when you're playing for 4th. Joe Cancelo bombing on. De Bruyne hits. Alta makes a good save. Telling you right now, in the lower levels of France, that's in the back of the net from what I've seen so far. How long until this video is finished rendering? We'll find out for you on the episode live. Wait for the highlight to end as Tossin sweeps it off Foden to Rum. Should be the highlight now. Should be the highlight now. I thought he gave it to Andre Silva. That's a risky ball. And in the end, it's a great ball out to Andre. It's highlight not over. Needs numbers with him. Joe Geldhart was top of the box. A Stupian. Oh, good 1-2 play. Good 1-2 play. We lead. We lead. Or don't we lead? Offside? Was it? It's a bit early in the morning for me to even look. I'm still trying to get through my morning coffee. Disallowed. Disallowed, huh? Guessing he was. Oh yeah, by a mile. Never mind. Everyone calm down. Whilst that's happening, 11 minutes to this finish rendering. At least for the Stuttgart game, we should be there or thereabouts with that being finished, which is good. 22 minutes played, still 0-0. Big old game. If you are enjoying the video, do give it a like, do subscribe. I'll probably say that a bit too much now because I know a lot of you guys are watching subscribers of the channel, and I just think there's a nice platform to build upon. I do apologise if I am preaching that too much. Stupid though, down the left-hand side. Lucas, in the box, a Stupid. Have a dig, Siv. He didn't really. City sitting 10 men, 11 men behind the ball. Jeez. We are starting to dominate. Alvarez, ball across the box, surely. He does. Gerhardt, we now lead. And there's no offside there. Against second place Manchester City, who are fighting for the title, we score a massive goal in the context of the top 4 race. Civet over the top, Alvarez with a touch, and City was sitting way too deep, invited the pressure, and Gerhardt has scored again. Oh, I love him. I love Alvarez too. I love this team, and that's what makes the beta save so hard to part with, because the football we play in this 4-3-3 is magnificent, and the team is really good. I'm really hoping this year we finish in the Europa and the Champions League spots, and of course elsewhere in the Conference League we finish. Hopefully in a final would be ideal. Alvarez ball in, cleared away, only as far as Andreas. Joe, have a dig, one touch and dig cross keeper. I love him. We lead 2-0 versus Manchester City, lads. We lead 2-0 versus Manchester City. Unreal. All I want to say is, what would be your suggestion in order to keep this save running as content with the main save? Because I want the main save is going to be a 20-season sort of thing and a sort of build. So I can't really put added time elsewhere. But at the same stage, this team is sometimes just too good to part with. There is a really good side here. Anyway, speaking about really good sides, City still have the quality. Foden's now moved up front as well. But we have stifled this Man City side. Mate, and at the minute, I don't even want to take these boys off because they're just killing City at the minute. They've gone a bit more narrow with the press, but Lamptey now, in the complete wing-back and support, will run at people. Alvarez, Lamptey wants it again, gets it again. Lamptey's got options at the back stick. Andreas is there for free. Manchester City's in the blue, but they have the maroon. Doesn't look like it because we look like Manchester City. It's 3-0 and Brighton are pumping City. I don't have a very good record versus Pep, they asked me in the press conference. Well, that's about to go out the window. Lamptey first time. Andreas at the back stick. Thank you very much. Let's make some changes. Let's make some changes with a big game coming up. Correa, Ferguson, Mateus. Tarum for Salcedo. Lucas will play 90. Civet out for Stupid, out for Roth. He's dead. Fred's injured, so I can't really do that. That's 5 changes anyway, so that's fine. I'm going to tell us to start wasting a little bit of time. And the reason why is that a little bit of time wasting will help the boys' fitness out there at the moment as well. We're about to make it 4-0. Haven't turned this save on in 2 days, and we're going to beat City 4-0 first game. It should have been. What a save from... Well, it was actually a block from Cancelo. I thought Edison made a save there. Mate, without that, City were gone. They are gone anyway. I don't see them coming back at the minute, but write them off at your peril. Going to move to frequent time wasting now. Don't even care if there's a highlight here. There is. It's a corner though. We're dominating. We are dominating. As we here hit the bar, we had Cancelo block one on the goal line and hit the bar for 4-0. City at 6s and 7s. They may have had most of the ball, but they haven't been able to break us down, and we have been extremely, extremely good. And well, there you go, lads. That's a massive win. We win 3-0 against Manchester City. We have Stuttgart, who we lead against 2-1 in the Conference League, coming to our place at the American Express Stadium. I'm pretty sure that's our name. Yes, it's too early in the morning to think. I'm a morning person, but I need coffee in order to function. I've only drank half my coffee because I've been trying to render and do this. But at the American Express Stadium, I was correct, American Express Community Stadium, we have got, in the downpour, Stuttgart, second leg of the quarterfinal. We currently lead, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we are going to go and get into the semi-final of the Conference League. Welcome back, YouTube. Stuttgart has come to the American Express Community Stadium. And hopefully we can hold on to our 2-1 lead. Nothing's happened since we last met. Important to note, though, Lazio did get a red card in their game and AGF beat them. That's a big team to be going out. If we were to win, us and Celta Vigo would be the two most recognisable sides. Fenerbahce, obviously, a good side too. But, you would be sitting there going, if I got Fenerbahce, you would say we're favourites. AGF favourites. Celta Vigo probably still just favourites. The winner of this tie is probably in a very good spot to win the whole competition. The team should be unchanged, but I am actually going to bring Joe Scully in. There's a reason for that. We're going to move him to a wing back on support, not commit as far forward. Also, Salcedo is going to come in for Giraffe. I do trust him as well with Thuram and Civet in the form he's in. I know it means McAllister has not played his last couple, but 6.58 has not been in good form. I'd rather have a more workmanlike midfield that can still go forward but can be a bit more defensively solid, even though McAllister's good in that sense. But then look to bring McAllister on if we need to change the game. That is the plan and that is the thinking. So the team is there at Alza, Scully, Tosin, Sotalo, Stupian, Salcedo, Thuram, Civet, Andreas, Alvarez, and Joe Geldhart. If we can perform how we just performed against City, this game we should win. Carry on your last performance. Most of them seem motivated. And off we go. Fully focused what we can do. We have to carry that confidence. First goal will be crucial here. Sounds like they're not in the best of form. Love the cut screen. I think it's great. You guys already know this. Let's get into it. I don't know when the draw is for the semi-final. If they draw it almost out immediately the next day or something, you'll see it here. If not, that will be the start of next episode, because next episode will definitely be a focus on the semi-final if we get through, and of course in a game in the what was I about to say? Also in a game as well in the league that's a top 4 race game. But we'll figure that out at the end of this video, as it's a highlight. Thuram, Alvarez cuts one top of the box. Don't know who he was looking for. Maybe the on-rushing Civet. And now they're going to hit us on the break. But Salcedo already looked like a good pickup because, McAllister win that? Maybe, maybe not. Anton with a diving header. There was no need for it. And we could pick the ball back up. Salcedo now. Andreas. Civet. Dig, surely. Have to dig. Does finish. What a finish. We lead 1-0, 3-1 on aggregate, and inside 3 minutes, we get the early goal we craved at home, and that has just made Stuttgart's job a lot harder. And here we are. Good build-up play once we did pick the ball back up. I love Andreas just looked for Civet straight away. He didn't even bother with turning, and Civet just side-footed it, top bin, and basically kissed the inside of the post and in. And with our first chance on target, it's flown in from distance. We lead 1-0. We're a very good footballing side. Alvarez now puts one back stick. Tosin's a big boy, doesn't win that. Falls to Thuram, who finds Tosin, who can play as a right back, so don't mind him out there. Prefer him to go back to centre back though. Scully drives with it. Finds Civet. Ball out towards a Stupian, and in the end, none of them decided to go for it. Stupian now picks up the second ball, and we're pinning Stuttgart in, which is exactly what we want to see. And a Stupian, Sotalo. Good movement out there to Tosin. And here we go, he drives. Looking for Andreas. What a ball. I thought he picked him out. Didn't. Now we squeeze up. We don't win it. This is where they generally try to hit us on the break, as we saw last leg. They don't. Salcedo on an early booking turns. Looks for Andreas. Great ball there again, but didn't find him. Mistake. Andreas. He's in. Goal. Outside of the boot. Good finish. I will say that's what the issue is with the match engine. That, centre-back and a full-back run into each other and they forget who is in control of the ball and then they just leave it. I don't like scoring goals in this sort of fashion. I don't like conceding goals in this fashion for sure. Because Anton's in between there with the touch, they both don't lock onto it. It's weird. They need to patch it. They will eventually. But look, we've had 2 shots, now 3 shots for on target, but we did have 2 shots for 2 on target, 2 goals. Doesn't happen for us all too often. Look, unless we can see the next one, you would say it's probably game over. And we're through to a semi-final. But, if they score the next one, it's going to get a little nervy still. But Joe Geldhart wins the ball as they're pressing forward in the deep block. Drives into the space. Holds it up nicely. Scully looks for Salcedo. Doesn't find him. I think I forgot to move Scully as a complete off to a wing-back, didn't I? Doesn't matter too much. Alvarez looks for Joe. Gets there first. Good touch and slots. Good composure. Most people would have whacked it into the centre-back there and just, whacked it pretty quickly. Joe took his touches slightly wider, waited for the keeper to go down, and then decided that's it, near stick, that's where it's going to go. 3-0, 5-1 on aggregate. It's an absolute pumping. It's a mauling here. I love it. Yeah, good finish. Keeper probably his positioning just slightly off. And look, 60% possession. We're dominating. Alvarez, back stick, headed down. Saucedo. Joe fires over the bar of his left peg. That would have been a great goal as well. We are looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Looking very, very, very good. Tarum. We look like Manchester City. We look like Manchester City today. And against Manchester City, we look like Manchester City. Maybe that's the title of this video. We look like Manchester City. Alvarez, he's offside for sure, but what a move. I would have much rather Alvarez just cut it to Joe and Joe just tap it in. That would have been a bit more filth. But the ball here is unreal. Saucedo, one touch. He's offside by about 1,000,000 feet, but the football is good. Like maybe he wasn't on. I thought Joe Gerhardt was just there. I understand why he went for goal now. Anyway, Saucedo picks it up. Tossing now. And this will be the system that we will be playing in the main save once we're up the levels, because I love this system. It's stream built. You guys have seen me break it down a few times. And I just love it. Stupian. Andreas goes with it. Gets the tackle. Andreas again. Tarum. No runners, but he can go himself. Does go himself. And through the keeper and in. Keeper made himself big. Not much the keeper can really do. I actually like that highlight that the keeper's got like something on it that still goes in, because it does happen in one-on-ones where the keeper gets like a little glove or a little foot and it still goes in. So I think that's a good animation. And I love that the keeper spreads here too. I will say there's a lot of hate for keepers in the match engine. And yeah, there's some things they do that are a little bit whatever. But most times they're not. They make themselves big and hope it hits them. Sometimes it hits you and goes in. 4-0 up. Stuttgart yet to have a shot. We're through to a semi-final. This is as easy as you like. And because it's as easy as you like, I'm going to get... apparently we're not picking how we're meant to be picking. I'm going to get Joe off for Ferguson, who's a shout-winning player of the tournament. Alvarez is going to come off as well. And Andreas is going to come off too. And I'm just going to give a few of the lads some. Salisu is going to come out for Tosin as well. 4 big changes there. And I'm going to leave one last change for Saucedo late doors. And I know what I'm going to do with that change too. If we do lose Saucedo to a booking, I will be livid. Anyway, Ferguson wins it. Mateus on the break. Went with the outside of his boot. That's fine. It's an absolute maul and it's a pump and I love it. 50 minutes played. If we played this well, we deserve to finish top 4 this year. Another highlight for Mateus, but that's well wide as well. Absolutely loving it. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I will say this right now. If we do make a final of the Conference League and top 4 comes down to like the last few games, I will stream that. I know we have the main save to play, but I will stream that because that's of importance. They go long. And as far as Salisu, Mateus, Tarum, Ferguson, Saucedo. Good balling for Correa. Keeper came and never got there. In the end, it was well blocked. And Satale just heads that one away. Just going to let you know right now that the change is going to be... I don't understand when that happens. Saucedo off because I don't want to get suspended. Oh, Jones is not fit. I was going to bring the young Jones on. We're going to just bring Lucas in, like for like. McAllister might get upset that he hasn't played the last 2 games, but he will play the next one in the league for sure. Lucas Gorona-Duaf needs to play minutes because he's very, very, very good. But I was going to bring Jones in as a youngster to get some minutes in here. Ryan wasn't on the bench, nor Richardson, because they've been playing in the 19-18s comp and they're pretty tired. I think Ryan, the New Zealander, has a bit of an injury. Now, their first highlight. They're going to score. It was blocked and then it falls to him and Zagadou does score. Well, the centre-back can at least say he scored. We've conceded in this game, which is a bit annoying too. But we're 6-2 up on aggregate, barring something that is absolutely absurd and out of this world. We're going to go through. Their first shot on target goes in. Watch new. Anyhow, time ticks away. There's 2 minutes of added time. Welcome to the semi-final Brighton of the Conference League. I am very happy with that performance. I thought it was sensational. I'll never forget as long as I'm in football. It was a great goal. It was a great goal. Lazio did not come back, so AGF knock him out. Fenerbahce have pumped Elfsborg, who I really wanted in this leg because I was going to pump him, but I pumped Stuttgart, so that's fine. I don't know if that's been drawn out yet. It has. We get Celta Vigo, right. So AGF and Fenerbahce in the other semi-final. We get Celta Vigo. I'm just going to put it out there. The winner of this game should be the winner of your Conference League in that final. Come on, AGF, make it. Yeah, I would love to see a Danish side do it. No Danish side went on any run when I was there for 20 years, so it would be nice to see. Fixture rearrangements, heads up about Dunk wanting to seek a new challenge. I'll deal with that in a second. Next episode, Celta Vigo, semi-final, Conference League. Can we do it? Mate, I would like to think that we can, for sure. And is there only one leg in the Conference League, or I'm just going blind? Surely not. No, it's not. Okay, it was just separated by a few games. I'll see you guys for that Celta Vigo game. Till then, catch you later, and bye.